This is for the basketball world. Miami Heat versus Golden State. Our big three era versus y'all. Who wins?
Come on, man. Come on,
I know
man.
we'll win, right? It's
Come on, man.
Let's talk about it real quick before we go off air.
I'm gonna see it. We might have to get this on 2K. We will play this thing out.
That's a good idea.
Hey, no, it'll be a blowout. I can't play. I'm terrible. But I will say one thing, and I hate the conversations that we try to compare from generations and generations because you're never going to come with an answer, right? It's just filler words that everyone uses to fill airways. But I think we all have those moments where you see great teams and you see great individual players, and you be like, "Damn, I would love to have had a moment to play against them in my prime." So I'll just say that to say that when you guys, shortly after the Big Three era, and we kind of had the NBA, you guys came and took it over, and I was like, "Damn, I would love to play them right now." That'd be it. Eastern Conference versus Western Conference. Whoa!
Hey. In the alternate universe, that would have been amazing, bro. But how many points would you have averaged like in 1975?
Who was playing back then?
I'm
getting, listen, Steph, I'm getting buckets in every era.
Exactly, but
I'm getting buckets in every era. I can play tough. I can play the tough game, or I can play the no defense game. I can go to the hole and get up and pick myself up, or I can play no defense. Whatever y'all want, I'm out there getting buckets.
Absolutely.
I can't shoot from half court, but I'll find a way to put that ball in the basket.
I would have sucked because ain't no 3-point line.
Have you guys watched the Jordan doc, The Last Dance?
Yeah, we're with everybody else. 2 episodes in. I hate that they slow rolling it, but it's something. I'm can't wait for Sunday. So I heard what you said about what Jordan meant and being in Chicago and giving you a vision of like what you could accomplish with the game of basketball. Like that to me, like we know how dope of a legacy MJ's got, but like hearing that from you and putting it into real terms. You said it earlier, like what a 5 or 7-year-old right now is thinking about watching the game, and like that's so crazy to me. And the fact that the high level of career that you had and now created that for other people, like I fall in love with those stories so much because like we're talking about sports and like a game of basketball doing that for a kid, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. I was telling my wife while we were watching, Michael Jordan came into the NBA at 84, and the documentary was taking place around 97, 98. I told my wife, I said, "You're watching my entire childhood."
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I was born in 1982, and by 98, I was 16 years old. So you're watching my entire childhood, and without the Chicago Bulls team, I would not have had the vision that I had to become a NBA basketball player, and the vision of Michael Jordan to try to do the things that he did, you know what I mean, and want to become one of the greatest players to play the game. So I give so much credit to the 91 Bulls team because without them, like I remember being a kid sitting in front of the little 12-inch TV we had, and when they won a championship, I remember saying to myself, like, that's what I want to do. That's the feeling I want to give to my family, the feeling that the Bulls gave to us. So without them, bro, I wouldn't be here. So, man, I'm in heaven every Sunday. I can't wait. I can't wait.
And for everybody a little older, he just said, "That's my childhood." And I was like, I was well into my 20s.
No. I feel like me and you are kind of similar in this respect right here, right? I feel like we're both two guys that probably, when it's all said and done, will not get the overall respect that we probably should get from this game, right? How do you deal with that? For all the kids and everyone's out there listening, how do you deal with that? One, while you're playing as one of the top players in the game, but maybe not getting respect that the real basketball players know you should get.
I mean, it comes in waves. I think the grind to get to that level, like the championship experiences and, people knowing your name and you creating that fear every time you walk in the gym that they know that you're there. Like that journey's so dope because every night it's like I'm proving to myself first and foremost that the work that I put in is paying off, and like it starts to build your confidence. Then you start winning, and everybody loves you, right? Like there's that window where it's just like you can do no wrong, and it's cool. Like, but it still doesn't change the drive that got us there. But then afterwards, what I'm finding out, like as soon as you have a little vulnerability or a little window for them to come in, they come full circle. So like. I wouldn't say it hurts. It's just more entertaining for me because, like I told somebody earlier, I'm so confident in like who I am, and that has come from the people around me the circle that I got that's so tight that, you know, they're not gassing me, but they keep it real. And that has allowed me to kind of take all the criticism, whether you might have like I might have like a human like, oh man, bump them, or I'm about to go tweet something right quick. Nah, you know. I still have those reactions, but at the end of the day, like I know who I am. I know what I put into it. At the end of the day, the hate is always louder than the love, and then we gotta change that. But you know, we just deal with it. That's the biggest thing. You just gotta be confident in who you are. I know that comes with work. You gotta prove it to yourself first.
When did you see that shift in guys? The look in people's eyes when you came off the court was different.
When they got scared.
When that fear came in. What time was that in the NBA?
I was like,
what game was it?
Did you remember the game? Y'all.
It was New York. It was in New York. It was in New York in 2013.
Oh,
2014.
Yeah.
That was 2013. That was 2013. That was New York.
What was that, like 54?
We're 54 and we lost, but
I remember watching that game. Like, you miss everything. We in trouble.
I was playing 48 minutes a night because we had injuries, and Coach Jackson we were trying to prove like that we were about that life on the biggest stages. So I was playing 48 minutes just going out there and hooping. But that was night. First I felt like I was as close to being like the perfect offensive player. Just like in that moment, I was like, I can do whatever I want to on the floor, like anything. I can get to the cup. I ain't gonna dunk on nobody, but I can float it. I can shoot it. I can make the right pass. And that was as close as I felt to it. But from there, it was just an avalanche of confidence. And so like the young guys, like coming in now, like the journey to get to that point, you're gonna have so many ups and downs. And like the best players are the ones that can stay even keel through it all. Like they can find a way to not feel themselves when they score 50 and not think they have lost it all when they score 8. Like they got to be somewhere in the middle where every night, you know, they just play. From that point, it was all about establishing confidence. And you can talk to yourself and you can kind of speak it into existence, but until you actually feel it, it's hard to explain. I'm interested, like, what was that for you? Just that moment, like that first playoff run? Was it the first finals appearance? Like, what was that for you? Where you knew, like, I'm that guy?
For me, it was sort of like a performance. It was matchups. So when I first got in the league stuff, like I couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. Like I couldn't. Everyone back all the way to the rim. I remember the game when I first remember when we were playing the Lakers. We was playing against Cole, and I remember when Cole first picked me up 94 feet. Because at first he would pick me up underneath the 3-point line, go under 2 screens, and let me shoot. So the moment where guys started picking me up 94 feet because they didn't want me to touch the basketball, that's the moment I was like, oh, okay. I got the respect now. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I couldn't shoot. It's just the fact that, like, I remember being at the 3-point line a lot, and I'm like, I'm not a 3-point shooter. Why are guys guarding me, denying me at the 3-point line? Let me shoot it. But the thing is, they didn't want me to touch the ball because when I touched the ball, either I was going to score or I was going to create the opportunity for one of my teammates. So that's when I knew that the respect was there, and like when you get to the point, man, where you like I can do anything on this floor. It's no stopping you, man. Once they get up here, it's no stopping.
Like that was CP was my guy because that was like my road dog from coming out and out of college. Like he took me under his wing from the jump, and I'm forever grateful for that because he showed me how to work. He showed me like the pressure on being elite every night. And like I got to chase that for like 3-4 years until we finally met up in the playoff series, and they beat us. And like I'm still like, dang, I was right there, almost got him. So like, there's always like that. I love that part about the NBA and like the fraternity. Like there's respect, even though it's competition and it could be bad blood at times, and just the ebbs and flows of what that is on the court. But at the end of the day, I'm sure like once it's all said and done, you're gonna look back and appreciate those people that you can kind of put a face to the success.
How did you guys handle injury this year?
I loved it, actually. I mean, to be honest, it was a weird.
Stephen.
I was coming into the season like I'm ready to go, like prove all these people wrong, talking about it's our rebuild year and all that. And in 4 games, it got taken away. So I had a chance. Either I was gonna be depressed and be miserable and not want to be around anybody, even my family, just because basketball was taken away. Or you lean into it and know that this story is only getting started in terms of what these next years are going to be like.
Yeah, it's made you a better person.
Yeah, it's given me a greater perspective on how amazing basketball is and how much fun I have playing the game, even through the crazy grinds of playoffs, series and championship runs and all that. I absolutely love it, so there's no question about that. But like the other things in life and being, making up for lost time with the kids was amazing. Leaning into the off-court stuff a little bit so I can set a foundation for all the things we talked about earlier about, how amazing those opportunities are. And I'm going to be back next year ready to go. So that's when I say I loved it. I got to lean into some other stuff because basketball was taken away.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, we don't want to keep you guys all day. First of all, I want to say, everybody out there, Dwyane Curry, make sure that you guys go out there and support. Obviously, D-Wade Sellers, go out there and support. When you go out and you're doing media for, all the things that you are doing, maybe the first 3 questions come out is about Steph Curry. And I'm asking this question because of this one right here.
Wait, does that happens to you?
Oh,
Talk about that though.
20
That's crazy.
years in the game.
Well, if that happens to her, I feel like I can't complain.
No, like they're like, you've got a cure for cancer, you say. But
Yes.
let's talk about the big 3. And I'm like, what? I have a whole, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit though.
That one's tough because like when you're working so hard, like it took me a long time to just be at peace with it and realize, you know what, it's gonna happen, it's gonna keep happening whether I want it to or not. And I honestly started realizing, like, as much as I was complaining about it, because I was like, that I didn't want him to feel like it was because I wasn't proud to be his wife, or like wasn't happy that I was his wife. And I started realizing, hey, you know what, it could come across that way. So like, I need you to know that I'm so proud and happy and honored to be your wife, and I love you and all of these things. But at the same time, when as a woman, like when you're doing all of the things that you're supposed to do as a wife, and also creating a career for yourself or working hard outside of your home, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah. Well, I was like, he does media after practice. He does media
Every
before the
day.
game, after
Every
the game,
day.
every day. So if he didn't answer your questions, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I had a full ass life before him, and I'm gonna have a full ass life with him. So give me my time. And unless you're gonna give me the same time during his media time, so you know what I mean? Hello, beat reporters. Don't hijack my press tours. Ask me about Dwyane and LeBron and Chris Bosh. Like, come on, give me that same respect. But it's also really interesting because you guys are very much a team. You know what I mean? And you are exactly how you appear to be. So have you ever noticed that you get the questions about balance? How do you balance it all, right? But you're a team, and Steph never gets the questions about balancing because the expectation is he doesn't have to. That's your job to balance.
That's very true.
She gets that.
I told him
every
time. Asking him.
No, even from a parenting standpoint, like, I could show up with my kids to the game and it's like I'm the best dad. That's a great part of like your parenthood and experiences, creating experiences for your kids. And I love those moments, but the reaction is that's some like grand gesture type of situation versus she walked in with the kids to the game, they took a picture, they were like, that's what she's supposed to be doing, like the whole vibe. And so there's a weird dichotomy when it comes to that. And like, yeah.
It's like people don't realize that this is a partnership. Like, we're in this together. We're both trying to balance it all.
But like
he's tired just as much as we're tired, and vice versa.
Yeah.
For different reasons. I mean, you got to get it done. That's the most. I think the one thing we've noticed is the ebbs and flows of the schedule, the busyness of life. As you go through, like, we have hard times with it at times because there's so many demands, and like, it's not, we know we're doing amazing things and we're blessed, so we always keep it in perspective. But it's real in terms of like raising 3 kids that look to you for everything, and you want to be there, you want to provide, you want to continue to be great at the talents that God's given us in our respective fields. And yes, there's a lot of demands. You got to be together. You got to be in unison with how you approach it, and the stuff that you can't control too, that's coming at you nonstop, 24/7. So.
And that is the exact advice I gave Aisha and a young Steph at D. Wright's 25th birthday party.
It all comes out. I'm so done.
You guys, the likelihood of this working out is very low, and you should just break up now and have sex with other people. I used a little bit more
Well, yeah.
But is that not what I told y'all both?
You looked at me and said, "How old are you?" Okay.
Precisely, because I was a thought.
I apologize on behalf of the Wade family. We are not. That's not who we are anymore.
I wish somebody
I
was.
still might give the same advice. Listen, you guys are unicorns. Like literally, there are very, very few people that I've met who have been consistent. I've known you guys well over a decade, and there's a lot of people who talk about faith, and there's a lot of people who talk about moving the culture forward, but something isn't real somewhere, right? And when people are like, "Are they really? Are they real?" And I'm like, yes. They're some of the only people that I've met who've been consistent from the first time I saw them to every time I speak to you guys, and whether that's me and Aisha texting each other, like just encouragement, randomly, like, girl, keep your head up, you got this. And she, returns the favor. You guys have been consistent. And I wish more people understood that it is possible to be people of faith and also wanting to move the culture forward. Those two things don't have to exist separately. And you guys do a beautiful job of being exactly who you claim to be. And
thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Cheers. Look at my empty glass.
We're on bottle number 2. It's all good.
Yo, Steph, when this all ends, we gotta get on that golf course, man. I need some.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm finding you somewhere. Not
All right,
on the West Coast.
Love you guys. Thank you
guys. This was so much fun.
Not you, Ty.
Team Curry.
First and last meal I might cook this year, so appreciate you.
Highly likely.
Love you.
Respect.
All love.
Love you guys. Bye.